Hello and welcome to Sense8 Reviews on What the Flick. This episode is 10, What is Human? A question they all ask each other. This is the beginning of some very heavy action episodes through the end of the series, or season.
Hopefully it's just season.
So we have Wolfgang helping Lito, Lito helping Wolfgang. Let's start with Lito's scene. It opens up like one of his big action shoots on a movie set or a television set, but it's actually him being the hero.
Right, well, and what happens when he doesn't have a stuntman?
Yeah, he gets to live out his telenovela, and it has one of my favorite action scene moments in it, which is Lito gets like thrown over a hedge, and he just pops up with two shrubberies, and he just throws the shrubberies. I gotta say, the guy who plays Joaquin, I wish I'd written down the actor's name. He is great. He has this wonderful, like, feral swagger to him when he's like walking back, like I can't do it. He's better actor
He's
than I am.
scary.
He's good.
Well, and the German mobster is not so bad either. You know, the angry uncle. Whatever.
Well, that whole bit, it was nice to see Lito finally, like his skill set finally being useful. You know, like I don't know if we ever get around to seeing Riley's skill set being particularly useful. I think she's the only one, but everyone else gets to do cool stuff. Like comes in, Lito's just like, oh, you need to lie. Well, I can do that. I'm an actor. You know.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I hadn't thought about any emergency DJing situations.
It hasn't really come up yet.
I can get that beat.
Yeah.
We gotta win the dance battle.
Right? That would be awesome. I would love to see that episode.
Gonna make it drop.
But it was nice to see Lito finally getting to do something very practical, and it was a cool bit. I just love when they pull back and they're just looking at the scene. They're just like, what could we do here? How could we stage this? How can we make it work? And where did he get that rocket launcher? Where did he get it?
Wolfgang has connections. I bought it. You know.
After that scene, every other action moment or scary moment, I would think like, call Wolfgang, call him, call Wolfgang.
Well, you know, or son. You know, those are like the ones to bring in.
There's a difference between the two.
That's
I think
true.
we'll get into later.
Hand to hand versus like weapons.
Well, it's also like Wolfgang will kill. Wolfgang will murder.
Yeah.
Son, she did it, but she did it to help Capheus. She didn't do it in her own aspect or for her own needs.
Yeah, Wolfgang don't give no fucks. I mean, we talk in this episode about like one of the difference between the whole sensates is that they're connected to everyone and to everything, and that they feel life and death more, and that it's easier for people who aren't connected to anything to kill. Except for Wolfgang. Wolfgang's fine with this.
Well, and now, maybe after being a sensei for a while, he'll start to feel these things more, and that will open up a certain level of empathy with him. You know, we also, so Lito, Lito finds his heroic side, both sort of physically, but also emotionally. He goes back and apologizes to the hot bartender. He is like, no, I'm going to be out because, damn it, Hernando's so awesome, which he is.
That's a great scene with the bartender, though.
Yeah.
Just, oh, my.
Mr. Firefly. Yeah. It's great. No, I believe me. I would love this show if it wasn't so queer, but the fact that it's so queer is part of why I really, really love it.
Yeah. Before we move on to, I think, the ending, I just want to clarify, Capheus, Jean-Claude Van Damme is not the Fred Astaire of martial arts.
Jackie Chan is.
Jackie Chan is. Yes, Jackie Chan is. Thank you. I will send you the DVDs. If I need to send them to Tom Tickfer and the Wachowskis, I will do that as well. I get it. It's supposed to be funny. Stop spreading the lies. We are trying to tell everyone like it's okay to be trans and gay and everything. It is not okay to think that Jean-Claude Van Damme is the pinnacle. I like his movies fine. He is not the pinnacle.
He was in Breakin', though.
Okay, well, I guess I was wrong. But
they're just standing there doing
no retreat, no surrender. It just doesn't get any better than that. Let's move on to the ending, which made me go, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the first one. I screamed.
Of them were crazy. I don't know about
I didn't know it was coming.
It's really just, and I get it, it's like, oh, it's the miracle of childbirth or whatever, but it comes out of nowhere, and I feel like you should prepare someone before that you show them, like, birthing a baby video.
8 times.
Like, well, some of them, especially the one that turned out to be a C-section, that looked like, like a David Cronenberg
Yeah,
movie.
there's a lot of crowning in this episode.
And I get it, it's beautiful, it's life, it's whatever, but prepare us, because it's really heavy to watch.
Yeah.
It's not the sort of thing that you just be like, oh, you want to see this birthing video? Not at the moment. Let me finish my coffee. Jeez.
Well, again, one of the things I love about the show is when it brings these connections between them, and brings these sort of disparate moments that they're each experiencing, and draws either parallels or allows them to share in this thing. And so I loved how the fact that Riley was listening to this music and on ecstasy, sort of like got everybody else into that same headspace.
And it was the music that her dad was playing her mom when she was born. And if they're all connected from birth, as Saeed says, I'm just going to call him Saeed, I don't care. But then that was all the first thing they heard.
Yeah.
That's really very beautiful.
No, it's
very, very sweet.
It's lovely. I liked that we finally got a Kala Capheus moment, which we had not had before, where they talk about beds and televisions.
That's very true.
And I should have trusted the sort of internationality of this show, because when they started and they had that sign, the thing on the wall at the Holocaust Memorial, I immediately froze it and went to Google to try and translate it, and then of course when I unpaused it, Will immediately says it in English. I was like, oh well, yeah, duh, I should have seen that coming.
Jerk. It's a good show.
And I will say, I admire the fact that even if it was added on later, the July 4th fireworks were quite lovely, because I just saw a movie that I can't talk about yet because it's under embargo, but it ends with a fireworks scene and it's just everybody going like this. You hear them and you don't see them, and I thought, boo!
Well, and I like
Sense8 gave us fireworks.
And I like that we intercut it with Nomi and her girlfriend, whose name I can never entirely remember.
Amanita.
That meets. Anyway, so but it was to catch a lesbian thief. That was kind of beautiful, actually.
Well, really, and also because Amanita had previously talked about being terrified of fireworks, and so that was like, you get your dog a vest and you have sex with your girlfriend. That's how you deal with the fear of fireworks.
It's so surprising to me how quick
It's
Amanita
science.
is to accept everything Nomi tells her as fact. If I were in her position, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I think
It's
Amanita's mother helps a lot in that regard.
She
too.
does. Well, it's clear she was raised in an environment that accepts weird stuff as possible.
I looked up what Amanita means, and it's the same name as a hallucinogenic mushroom.
Yes.
There you go. All right, then fine. Yeah, honestly, there you go.
No,
that's a well-named character.
Yeah, no, that's why I always think of the REM song "Flowers of Guatemala," because that's what that's about,
Yeah.
So yeah, she is walking psilocybin. Good for her.
Is psyllium cybin?
No, that's a whole other thing.
Okay.
This was my list for this episode.
Fun episode.
Still on point, Wachowskis. So well done. We'll be back in a second with episode 11.